Welcome to The Bounce Off, a podcast where two friends discuss film with a sprinkling of pop culture, ping-ponging between topics and tangents. Eagerly awaiting Christmas supermarket sales, I'm your host, Clyde, aka the Fruitcake Bandit, and perpetually in the first stage of grief is my co-host, Dan in Denial. Say hi to the one folk at home, Dan.
Howdy, folk.
Hello, one man, woman.
Hi, folk.
Thank you for tuning in, and welcome to the first week of what I've very creatively dubbed Twilightober. Even though it's the 23rd and there's like 5 movies, and we're gonna go into probably beginning of November because I'm terrible at timing.
It's okay. It's spring in Australia, so it's very Twilight.
The spookiest season. God, the fact that it's so weird that every holiday that we actually celebrate is designed for other countries to the point that like it doesn't feel like the actual holiday when it is. Like it's Christmas and we're like, wow, I love Christmas in the fucking searing heat.
I love summery Christmas. Okay. That's Western propaganda, Clyde.
God damn it, they've taken our holidays from us.
Oh, sorry, that's Northern Hemisphere propaganda.
God damn it, why can't it be like Animal Crossing? Why can't you just change the fucking seasons to suit what's going on? But anyway, before we go on our rant about the weather, we are starting off with, obviously, Twilight, 2008, the very first one.
What a time to be alive, 2008. Takes me back.
Takes me back to when I saw the trailer and then never saw the movie until literally last year. It took me a while to come around to this.
Oh my god. Takes me back to like seeing all like the fervor around it and just like how people were into it.
It was intense.
Remember when Borders was a thing in Australia? The bookstore Borders? I don't know.
I wasn't in Australia until 2009, so bro.
It was around then. It doesn't matter. It's still relevant.
Nothing but Twilight just covering the bookshelves.
I feel like Taylor Swift and Twilight are the same thing.
Oh, 100%.
They're associated.
They're definitely associated. 2008 was the year of vampires and Taylor Swift. 100%.
Yeah.
For good reason. So yeah, wow. Let's get into it. This movie was directed by Catherine Hardwicke. I want to say Catherine, but there's an E there, and
But it's gonna be, where's the E?
At the end. At the end of Catherine. I might be wrong. It's Catherine.
No. That's definitely how you spell Catherine.
Son of a bitch. English language is confusing. Stop adding random letters and then expect me to say the name the exact same way. Jeez. All right, Catherine Hardwicke. Hardwicke. All right. We should really stop roasting people's names when we first say them. It's a very bad habit. Okay, Catherine Hardwicke. And it is starring, obviously, Kristen Stewart, not Kirsten Stewart, because I've said Kirsten for so long. That's Kirsten Dunst, Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart as Bella Swan, Robert Pattinson as Edward Cullen, Billy Burke as Charlie Swan, your boy Taylor Lautner as Jacob Black, with a couple of special mentions in the cast there. Young Anna Kendrick as Jessica.
I didn't know she was in this movie until today. Like I said, I've seen like parts of this movie, but like back in probably 2009.
So you definitely would have forgotten because I don't think she was like a household name.
She wasn't like a thing like then, so I probably didn't know. I was like, oh.
Yeah, like wait, when was Scott Pilgrim? Did Scott Pilgrim happen after this? That's when I first knew her.
Scott Pilgrim, a 2009 release.
Straight up. All right, Scott Pilgrim was after that, which is the first thing I saw her in. And then we have Jackson Rathbone as Jasper. Now, I have a bone to pick with you, Jasper, but not really with...
Wait, Rathbone?
With Rathbone.
I have a bone to pick with Rathbone.
I have a bone to pick. Not with him. It's probably not his fault, but recently me and Denise saw the Avatar: The Last Airbender movie, and I realized when looking into it, he played Sokka. It's weird.
I read that and I was going to question you because I saw that and I didn't see movie written there. I just saw Avatar. I just saw The Last Airbender.
Oh,
you wrote movie.
It would have made sense.
I just skimmed
because of voice acting, but in the Avatar: The Last Airbender movie, now mind you, me and Denise also marathoned the actual show before we saw the movie. So obviously, Sokka was burned into my mind. You know, tan as fuck, funny as hell, and somehow they just saw that and thought, let's make him the whitest kid, and not funny at all. And now I can't look at Jackson Rathbone and not think, how are you Sokka? How did that happen?
That's really weird. He does look like a Rathbone, though.
Yeah, the name fits.
Very much a Jackson Rathbone vibe.
It's the kind of name where I'm like, I can't imagine anybody else. Like, look, if Denzel Washington was called Jackson Rathbone, that's kind of sus. We'll see. Okay,
good.
So Twilight. Let's get into the story, even though, come on, it goes without saying, you know it, but for those
one of the greatest of all time,
the greatest love story ever written. Bella Swan is a 17-year-old girl. I say 17 because I'm guessing. I forget if it even says her age. I'm just,
No, I just assume because what's it called? Edward says.
He says 17, he is.
So.
Yeah. Cool.
And they're the same year level. Yeah.
Cool. So Bella Swan is a 17-year-old girl who moves to Forks, Washington to live with her father, Charlie, while her mother travels with her new husband who plays minor league baseball. You could have given him any job ever and you gave him minor league baseball, but fuck it,
yeah, it's not that important. It's very minor.
It's important that she freaking uproots her whole life to follow him around. She's like in the background of practices, just on the phone, while the whole team is just playing baseball. Her new school comes with the usual people very excited to be her friend and people who take every chance to bully her, but this school also comes with something very different. Edward Cullen, who she falls in love with and finds out is in fact a vampire.
How tantalizing. How sexy.
I should have made this like a double feature with Interview with the Vampire, because God, I want to imagine. Have you seen Interview with the Vampire?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Imagine Twilight, but suave.
I don't have to imagine Twilight.
You see, so think of Twilight, suave as shit, but every vampire has like. Do you remember Fabio?
No.
Do you remember? Crap. I don't think who's like a famous person with like long straight hair, like a dude who has like long flowing locks. Jason Momoa, but straightened out.
Okay.
Every vampire has this long, dead straight hair, and it is like the gayest thing I've ever seen. But it's amazing, and everyone's so like brooding and over dramatic, and this works like in the exact same way. So, but it's Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt who are the vampires with long straight hair. And if this hasn't, triggered some need in you to watch this movie, you should watch this movie. It's good. And guess who's in it?
Tom Cruise.
Kirsten Dunst. I mentioned before. Oh shit! I am connecting everything. So Dan, what did you think of Twilight? I've seen it already, so I already had the eye-opening first experience of actually watching this movie, but you had to half revisit it because you forgot from back then, but you had to kind of go into it with like a fully developed adult brain.
Yes.
And like
my fully developed adult brain
that
comprehended this was just in awe of its beauty, and
there's no other way.
I was taken away by just they're meant to be together, and I just
Are they?
all right. This is like a comedy.
Not on purpose, that's for sure. In the actual you throw in there kind of lands flat.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I like it in a weird way. Does that...
It makes sense. That's me. I love it. I love this movie, but I don't... Yeah.
It's camp. It's very camp. What? Am I using camp right? I never know if I'm using the word camp right.
You are using the word camp right, but the movie wasn't trying to be camp. That's the problem.
Really? Have you seen some of that direction? Have you seen when she's in the forest and the camera's spinning and spinning? like they got swept up in a tornado around them, and then it just cuts straight to their face. Like crash zoom.
No, for some reason I don't feel like it was trying to be. I feel like
this was earnest.
I feel like it, because which character in this? Okay, look, in every camp movie, there's one character that knows and is self-aware of how camp the movie is. Who in this movie is that camp? Like, look, I know it's legend now that the leads thought the movie was kind of dumb and their performances kind of reflected that, but at the same time, it's not like you're watching what's a camp as shit movie?
I don't know. The thing that comes to mind is Spider-Man 2002.
Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, it embraced the campness. Like, everything seemed on purpose how campy it was. But this does, I don't know, maybe it's just I know it is just my opinion because it came out of my mouth, but for some reason I feel like it was trying to be something else or something deep, but it just couldn't, because
I couldn't see it. I don't know how you could be behind the production of this thing and go, this is it.
A story for the ages.
Team, we have done something here, something that's never been done before, and we have stumbled on real gold here.
I'm looking at it kind of like how I've found out recently that the classic comedy movie Caddyshack wasn't even supposed to be a comedy movie when it was first created. It's meant to be a coming of age movie set on a golf course, and there's like a bunch of wacky characters around them, but then the movie itself kind of fell apart and they realized they couldn't keep the dramatic bits, so they only kept the comedy bits, and then it just became a comedy. I'm thinking of this as kind of that, except they never took out the dramatic bits on purpose to make it a comedy. They kept everything in, thinking this is going to be something great, and it just didn't. It just,
I don't know.
Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Probably just me.
I think it is perfect for its target audience.
Oh,
100%. Teens. I just don't, and pre-teens, I guess, too, probably.
I think my brother saw it, and he definitely wasn't the target audience at the time.
Yeah.
Because let's see, he's 8 years older than me, and if I was, no. He would have been.
Was he 20?
20. Yeah, he would have been the target kind of age at the latter end, but also being a dude, that definitely didn't help at the time. And also, I think the appreciation for this movie didn't fully set in until a while back when we all left the whole "this movie's trash and it deserves to burn" train, and then we look at it and go, "This is just fun to watch." Shit. That's pretty much how I look at it now. Like, I just think it's a fun, goofy, dumb movie to watch, and I don't look at it like this thing like slapped my grandmother and it fucking offended me or some shit.
I just want to put it out there. I voluntarily watched 3 seasons of Riverdale by myself. Okay, and this is the same. And Twilight lives in the same universe, the same genre, if you will.
Yeah. G word.
So like, I understand the appeal, which is like, the appeal for me is this is dumb. I like the setting. Mm-hmm. But this is dumb, and I laugh at it.
Hold up, I'm writing this
ridiculous.
Down. I'm writing this down. I think we found the episode title right there. This is dumb. I like the setting, but this is dumb. Cool, I'm keeping that. I usually have trouble trying to figure out what the title of the episode's called, but we got there fast. We got there.
You're welcome. But yeah, like. It's just a weird ride, and it's just like, it's one of those things where it's just like, this is weird. This is really weird what's happening right here. Like,
the fact it's happening in the first place.
It was just like, yes, baseball, vampires, thunder, kidnapping, ballet room.
Do you know what? That was definitely, you can tell that was supposed to be a Hall of Mirrors. That was supposed to be a stereotypical Hall of Mirrors scene from like, Us. Forget what Bruce Lee movie it was. Every 80s action movie ever ended in a fucking Hall of Mirrors. But I don't even they did that. They did the exact same thing where they turned to multiple mirrors and the villain's there. But oh my god, where is he? You know where he is, Bella. This is a wide open space with like 5 mirrors. He's right fucking in front of you. Don't act like you couldn't see him. I know you're an idiot and all, but shit, that's just insulting.
Yeah.
Oh, and okay, let's get into the first thing I actually want to talk about this movie that I think lets it down. I'm like, look, the movie itself as a whole is obviously a gem. We've established that this is amazing. If we could send a capsule to like a planet with just artifacts from Earth, I think Twilight should be there. It should be one of them.
Yes,
if not the book,
definitely.
the movie, something in Blu-ray so they can play it. So the young adult protagonist archetype does not work when put to film, because young adult characters are by design boring, because self-insertion means you need to inhabit an empty shell of a person. You can't have the most interesting, amazing, charismatic person then go, I'm like them, because what if you're not interesting, charismatic, good looking, or whatever these people are? It's kind of like, look, I can't look at Harry Potter and go, hey, I'm like him. How am I like him? I'm nothing like him. There's nothing there I can self-identify with, except maybe the boarding school experience, but that's very specific to also me. I don't know anyone else in Australia, at least, who went to a boarding school. So I'm like, oh, I understand the whole dorms and houses and like staying together with the homies you go to class with every day kind of thing. So, and the problem is when it's like a young adult protagonist, who is obviously, like I said, boring, bland. There's nothing really there. When it comes to that being a love story in film, there's your problem, because they have to interact with the person they're in love with, and usually the person they're in love with has all of the personality and they have none, and that's why they fell in love with them. But then you can't think of it vice versa. You can't think of why their love interest even likes them, because they're not funny and they're not look. Sorry, give me a sec. You're gonna laugh at this because I forgot again. Kristen, because I forgot how to say it. Kristen Stewart.
No. I was like, what are you looking up?
Something very important. Kristen Stewart is gorgeous. I'm telling you right now. I'm not gonna go like, oh, she's not even pretty. Kristen Stewart's fucking pretty. Shut the fuck up. Goddamn. She is a gorgeous lady. That big, cool. That's great. But also, that's pretty much all Bella has. Bella only has her looks. She's not funny. Every joke she says is like, imagine if every joke in Juno didn't hit. That's what she sounds like. She's like, I'm witty, says something, and everyone just looks at her like, fuck, damn, you dumb. But like, cause she's not funny. She's not particularly smart. She's not like charismatic. There's not really much. Not even like, her fashion style sucks. Lord Jesus! I swear she came to school in scrubs. There's a top she had on that looked like scrubs with like white embroidery on the lining or some shit. It looked fucking terrible. So look, she has none of the, usual things you look for in a person you're attracted to, except being pretty. She's also annoyingly awkward. Not even like cute awkward. She is like, remember when we saw Bright? Remember Jacoby? Yeah. That's how awkward Bella Swan is. She is just, every scene she speaks, and I'm just
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, he's worse. But like, she's pretty far down the fucking spectrum of it. So the problem is, obviously, why would anyone fall in love with this person if they have no qualities about them that anyone would be attracted to besides, obviously, being nice to look at? And then there's also, she walks into school. Oh, automatically, she has like 2 dudes just going, I want to date that chick, which I'm not saying didn't happen in high school. That thing happened. But they weren't that fucking. This dude just walks up to her and basically just presents himself like, "Hey, you're new. You seem like the most amazing person in the world. Why don't you date me?" Where I'm like, but why? She doesn't even seem happy. There's people around her half the time.
She's the new girl in town, Clyde.
But
it's a small town. They only have 3,000 people, even though this high school seems huge. Like it's 1,000, like a third of the.
I think half the population does just live in that school. But that's the thing, though. I understand the whole. Look, I think that's what I want to see more of in films. If you're gonna show this person as the coolest, most charismatic person who everyone just rallies around, can I at least see that in their character? Like, look, I can watch Wolf of Wall Street and go, damn, this guy's a piece of shit, but fuck, I'd not hang out with him. He seems like a fun dude. Whereas Bella doesn't seem like a fun dude.
I just want to point out that about the non-character stuff. The fact is they explicitly had it where the reason he's attracted to her is because he can't read her mind.
So
what? She has nothing on her mind. Is that the non-character aspect coming into play?
Do you know what the problem? What it is? What would have happened in real life? You would have seen, if you were a mind reader and you met a girl who is obviously intriguing because you can't read her mind, so there's actually mystery there as compared to like the millions of people you've met who you can read off the bat and go, wow, you're a piece of shit. You're really funny. Yeah. You're really smart. This girl, blank. You would eventually have to peel away all of that and then realize, damn, all ping-ponging in there is literally just a ball of dust. Nothing.
It's one of two extremes. It's like either there's so much going on there that you can't get a read on her, or there's so little.
It's like Homer Simpson with the fucking clapping toy monkey in his head. That's it. There's nothing going on. I don't even know what she likes.
I love it.
What does Bella like? Besides
Edward.
Don't say that. That's it.
She liked that car. She was a really big fan of that car. She liked Phoenix, the beach, the sun.
Does she?
She does.
Have you seen her complexion? She's never been in the sun.
She doesn't like the rain.
To make things wet, which, considering the fact that one of her love interests is going to be a fucking literal dog, that's a problem.
Forgot about that. Didn't put that connection together. So that's, I don't know, I guess I do. I don't know, something. No, there is a certain je ne sais quoi that she brings to the table.
Is there? If Bella Swan went to your high school, would you even go, oh, she seems kind of cool? No, I'd be like, she's weird as fuck. I'm not talking to her.
She seems really boring, but friendly.
She's not even friendly.
She doesn't seem that friendly, but she seems kind of friendly.
Do you know what she is? I know it's in that head. Like an assortment of anime grunting voice clips, because that's what most of her dialogue is. So and Christ, Bella, speak. Use your big girl words, girl. Shit.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. She moans and grunts through most of her dialogue, which, looking back on it now, it's amazing to look at. I live for it. But just imagine this person as a person. You met this person. And they're like, let's go on a date. And most of the time, you just deal with, hey, so, you ask her, what do you think about your drink? Yeah.
All right, let's just remember that there was a lot of stuff going on with Edward that she didn't really have time to explain what's happening with her. We didn't get her side of the story, her mystery, because he was hiding that he was a vampire, and she's just trying to crack the code.
No, but that's the thing. She's one of the few characters.
She could have been the PI.
She's one of the only characters in this movie, which I think she is actually, who has voiceover. So if anyone should know what's going on in Bella's head, I think it's us.
And we know what's going on, and what's going on is she wants to know what's going on.
It's like, what's the plot? The plot is we're trying to figure out the plot. That's pretty much it. Also, I was confused because Denise told me about this. How remember of the two guys in her friends group who were like apparently hitting on her. One was very obvious, the white dude.
Yeah,
and the Asian kid of the fringe. Who now looking back on this movie in 2020, homie is at least bi. I thought he was gay. The second he showed up, I'm like, he seems. I'll use it properly now. The stereotype that straight guys are not very flamboyant. They either go for the alpha gorilla approach of like trying to intimidate you into liking them, or they're goofy and dumb as shit. Like, let's say there's like on one end who's a very jock actor in movies who's just mostly there for like muscle.
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth when he's not being Chris Hemsworth pre-Thor Ragnarok, before Thor was funny. That's the usual jock stereotype. Then the other end, there's like Adam Sandler, who's like his only thing he can throw at you is jokes. That's how he's gonna try and get you to date him. But then this kid was very articulate, had a decent style.
I love the implication of that.
Here's the thing. He's reached the point now.
He's so inarticulate.
Bruh, you've been on Twitter. Don't lie to me. Now, I'm not saying this as like an insult, but let's say it. On average, the suavest straight person will not hold a candle to the suavest gay person That's not even in the same ballpark. So my first thought with that kid was, he seems to know what he likes. He seems to know what he wants. He seems very, knowledgeable and smart and just, charismatic as shit. I thought he was gay. I didn't even think he wanted her in that way. I just thought she was, I thought he was like very well
explicitly, but maybe he was, I don't know.
He was just, I don't know. I think in any other movie, that character would have been implied to be gay. But in my mind, I thought he wasn't. So when Denise was like, oh yeah, he's hitting on her. I'm like, I didn't think he was. I thought he was just being welcoming. Which is, also just that's just the dumb part of my brain. With if someone ever hit on me, I'd be like, they just think I'm nice. They just think I'm neat. That's pretty much it. I think it was the hair too. I know that emo hair was a thing at the time, but look, I think if I saw someone with that hair now, my first thought would be, I don't think you're straight, homie. I think you at least bi. You never know. I'm not saying
put people in a bucket.
I can't in a bucket. It's in a box. I mean, it's one of those weird things where you can't put people in a box, but your brain's gonna think a certain thing when you see something. That's what I thought. I was wrong.
There you go. There you go. Maybe
admission of guilt.
Right.
I was wrong.
Later on in the sequels that I haven't seen.
I'm telling you now, you don't.
He's a recurring character, and he falls in love with some guy at the school. I don't know.
No. Speaking of which, we should do Kiss and Booth 1 and 2. I'm going to put it on the list. Anyway, it's happening.
No idea what. I never heard of that.
Oh, even better. Cool. So it's definitely going on the list.
Yeah.
So one thing I noticed about this movie, the plot begins to kind of kick in when Edward saves Bella from being crushed by a van, which would have been a fucking crazy way to die. Like, Jesus Christ. But
it's so random.
So there's this one specific black kid. I'll just call him the black kid because it's like max of two. It's a max of two.
There's no one else. There's no one else. Like at the school.
I thought maybe, you know what? I think who I thought I saw in the background was probably just him again. Just in the background.
I don't know, maybe like background characters, maybe. But I'm saying like
character
lines. Yeah.
All right, cool. So the black kid that almost killed Bella by mistake, obviously it wasn't his fault. Maybe homie shouldn't have gone, a bit slower. He's going like 30 in a school zone. That's worrying in a car park. But anyway, he almost kills her. Before the scene of him almost killing her, I swear he wasn't even in that small group that she somehow finds herself in with Anna Kendrick, the Asian kid, the white kid, the typical nerd girl.
And Rosita from The Walking Dead, who I did not recognize. I only found out from the cast.
I never saw The Walking Dead.
But still, like, it's just like, she was the nerdy girl with the glasses.
Oh, was she? Yeah, I hated her glasses. Her glasses were fucking shit. They were terrible. Goddamn. I'm sorry, but the style in this movie needs to. I know it's 2008, but those look like pink Barbie glasses you got on an actual doll. Oval-shaped glasses like that never looked good. Don't lie to me. You gotta get them square. You gotta look hipster. That's the style.
He was right. He was right. Everyone's so 2000 and late. Honestly.
Goddamn. Anyway, yes. After Bella almost dies, this kid somehow starts showing up when they're eating lunch, just sitting with them as if he was always there. They're like, wait a minute. You weren't here. You were not part of the squad. Are you here out of guilt? I almost killed this girl, so I guess I'll be her friend. Because I swear he was bullying her or some shit before.
Yeah, he was throwing something at her hair before.
Yeah. I guess that's the only way to make amends for almost murdering someone. Just kind of infiltrate her squad.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That's more. I'm gonna call any small nitpick I make a cinema sin because let's face it, that's what it is. It's nothing important. It's a cinema sin. It's nothing that bad. Yes. Let's talk about vampires, Dan. Let's talk about vampires. When you think vampire, what do you think of?
I think Count from Sesame Street.
That can't be the first thing that comes.
That's the first thing that comes to mind. Second would be Dracula. But it's like, I don't really have a face for Dracula. You know what I mean? Like, Dracula is some amorphous figure in my head of the vampire, but it's vampire. Like,
yes,
I couldn't, if I was brought into the police station and they asked for a sketch of Dracula, I wouldn't be able to tell them what facial features to look for, to be honest.
See, since he mentioned the Count, my first thought is his very, very pointy nose. He's purple.
And he's an accountant, I guess, as well.
He's an accountant.
Part accountant, part teacher, doing things for the children, doing things for the kids. Yeah. So
yeah.
That's what I think of vampires. I think of garlic.
So whenever you think, oh man, vampire hate this shit.
Yeah, I think of a crucifix. Is that even right? I don't know. I think
depends
of
on what you're watching,
holy water. I think of them not being able to go in the sun. Don't think of shimmering. Shimmering's new. Definitely not shimmering. I just think of them maybe melting typically, or like they were just
burning, combusting, melting.
Exist.
Yeah, they just poof.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what I think when I think vampire. When I think vampire, I think of a hunter. I think of an alluring, seductive.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, seductive is the main thing because as I learned in university, vampires are actually metaphors for penises. But hey, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Yeah, I'll just ruin vampires for you. They are because look, we had to read we read Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Where's the garlic involved?
I'm not gonna tell you. When I say we read Bram Stoker's Dracula, I mean they read Bram Stoker's Dracula. I just sat in class, cherry picked some notes, and passed the assignment. But anyway, going on.
Doing uni right.
But yeah, the first thing I think of is a hunter, which Edward does say vampires are hunters. Fair enough. But the whole thing about why vampires are the way they are, why they're always, way more attractive than the average human, how in his words, everything about them are meant to draw you in. So let's say you go to a bar and you meet someone and they seem like out of your league, like a billion out of 10, and they're talking to you and you're just like, God damn, what? And turns out what? They're charismatic. Oh shit, kind of flirty. Okay. And then things progress and you kind of ease yourself in this state of like just calm, and you're happy and you let your guard down, and then they take you back to their place. Last second, bam, throat slit. I'm bad at this. Fangs in throat bit. Thank you. It rhymes. throat bit, and then you're dead. That's what it works like. It's meant to be, seductive, lure you in, last moment, kill you. Fair enough.
Yes.
Cool. That's what Edward says that vampires are like in this universe. Like, look, you can argue the Cullen family is different because they're all vegetarians and they actually don't feed on humans anymore. But the actual vampires we do meet, the only time you see them killing and hunting someone, they just bum rush into it and kill them. There's no finesse. They don't, they don't talk to. They'll like, show up in an alleyway behind someone and then dazzle them with their good looks and make them feel, eerily calm and then kill them. They just shanked a homie in a boat with like. I'm like, look, I know it's like I'm cinema sitting this because I'm looking too deep into it. But if you're gonna tell me that vampires are meant to be so like superhumanly beautiful, why don't they ever use that to their advantage? Ever. Like the fucking Will.I.Am looking homie, he never once seduced someone. He just showed up and killed him. That's all he did. So Edward's whole speech about vampires being this monsters from the inside out, it doesn't really hold weight because it seems like they're just a vampire, like the bad vampires in this movie are just one step up from just a common criminal. The difference is they can just run really fucking fast and smell very good, and that's pretty much it. Like nothing. And
the chase gets them off. I don't know.
Oh, that was just the one guy, which leads me on to my next point.
Get it, but still.
It leads me onto the next point, the villain. Which, the villain doesn't show up for how long? Like, until the actual, like, look, there is an underlying mystery of, who's been killing the people in Forks.
The animals.
The animals, they say, yeah. And then, of course, you see the actual vampires kill someone, like in like a scene. The next time they show up is when it's after the godly baseball scene that happens during a thunderstorm. Wait, not thunderstorm. There's just thunder. There's no actual storm. Weirdly enough, there's no rain because that happens. But they show up and fuck. What even was I even talking about? Yeah, they show up and then suddenly there's danger. Like, look. For some reason, in my head, if I was Edward and that weird dude, I forget his name, the bad vampire who ends up kidnapping Bella, he looked at her weirdly and went, hey, James, yeah. James. Okay. James sounds right. He's like, hey, you brought a snack. I want to eat her. And then, here's the thing. He basically threatens to eat her. Edward doesn't even think of killing this homie and his squad right now. They're outnumbered. There's 3 villains, and how many Cullens are there? I'm gonna go through them because I want to, flex my muscles and show y'all that I was paying attention. There's Edward.
Yep.
Who, his powers are being very fast and read minds. For no reason, he just can. Carlisle, who is, father figure, nice guy, cool dude. I'd hang out with him. He's a doctor, and he's very... That's it's a very dangerous profession.
I guess he everything he does is righteous, but I don't trust Carlisle.
Oh yeah, I don't trust him.
Vibes. Yeah. I
forget what happens later, but he's what a vampire seems like it should be. He makes you seem like, oh, nothing's wrong here, but the homie is like, has literal venom coursing through his veins. Fair. Is it what the fuck?
I'm no longer impressed, Clyde.
God damn it. Okay, here's the thing. I know the names of the ones I give a damn about, but the rest I forget. Rosalie. There's Rosalie, which I forget if that's the one who doesn't like Bella that much. I forget.
I think so. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Then there's Alice, the one with subjective precognition. There's the mum who is Esme, I think. Esme. Yes, the mum is Esme, who has no powers I know of, or powers being a mum. Then we have your boy Emmett, who is big guy. His power is obviously being able to punch really good. He's basically the Hulk, but in a small, cuddlier form. And then we have Jasper, whose power you don't know yet. He has the power of intense staring, because he stares a lot in this whole fucking movie, which makes sense because apparently he's the last of them who turned vegetarian, so he's still trying to suppress the need.
He's trying to hold it back.
Fair enough. So that's like 5, 6 homies compared against 3, and it's not like any of y'all have the okay. And also, let's see the powers on the other end. James is a very good hunter. what's that gonna do when the prey's right in front of you fighting back, my guy? You ain't gonna stalk your way to like 5 meters forward. That's dumb. Black dude has no power. The power of blackness. He dipped because he realized shit was going bad. And then you have now I'm forgetting the girl's name. Girl was Victoria. Yes. And then Victoria's power is the dumbest power of all, self-preservation. As if no other creature on God's green earth thinks, hey, I don't want to die today.
That's her super self-preservation. Like, I'm extra preservative today.
If anything, her power would have been a disservice to her team because she would have gone, what? 3 against 6? Fuck it, I'm out. Self-preservation, yo, and dipped. So, if they attacked them right then, they would have killed them all. No problem. They would have solved the problem of who's killing homies in forks. Bella would have been safe. Easy. Done. Cool. But no, do you know what they do? They run. The first thing Edward does is, hey, get in the car, we're driving away, we're gonna just, go home, break your poor father's heart, and then dip to middle of God knows where James, outsmarts them and just, finds a way to separate Bella from them and then, break her leg, bite her, almost kill her, and then he gets bum rushed and killed anyway. Which happens, mind you, within 10-15 minutes within you realizing what the true threat of the movie is, and then it's kind of just over. Why? This is a movie. The last I knew about movies, and there's a villain in a movie, you kind of, get a feel of them. You figure out how dangerous they are, and then they die.
It's not about that, Clyde. It's about Edward and Bella's relationship being threatened. That's what it's about. And nothing's going to stand in their way. And basically, plot has to occur to make it be threatened.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter, if it makes sense or not. As long as we know that their relationship is tested and they stay true, that's what matters at the end. That's compelling.
Their relationship ruins everyone around them. First things first, now all of Edward's family's gotta get worried that, hey, this random human girl's apparently boinking our brother. What does that mean? Ain't that weird? Don't y'all think this is weird? And then poor Charlie has to get apparently Bella tells her dad the same thing that her mom told her dad when she left him, which is overkill. All you had to say.
Also, how would she know?
She was there.
She was there, and she just memorized it. She was just like, these lines.
I'm gonna keep this for later. Yeah, because look, I understand the whole she had to hurt him to get out of the house to make sure he didn't come looking for her. But damn, you went hard. You didn't need to go that hard. You could have just said, hey, this place is really overwhelming for me. School's fucked up. I hate, she lied saying she broke up with Edward. Just say, I don't like the fact that Edward's here. I want to go home for a couple of days, a week. I'll come back later. That's all she had to say, but no. Basically, all I'm trying to say is Charlie deserved better. Bella's a terrible, terrible person, and a terrible daughter. And he tries his best to even try and be a bit more welcoming. He knows that he's very closed off. He's like, oh, we'll do all these new different things. She's like, no, fuck that noise. I'm a dip because my boyfriend of 1 week has always got me killed by an actual monster, and I got a dip. Terrible person. Why does anyone like this hoe? I don't like her at all. Kristen Stewart. Poor girl got so much flack for this role, and I'm just like, the character wasn't even worth that. Jesus Christ.
I don't know.
Speaking of the Cullen family, let's talk about how anyone would realize something sus about these people. They come here out of nowhere. They all look pasty white. Their eyes literally change colors. Apparently, among the according to the outside world, the Cullen family isn't actually family by blood, but that doesn't stop them from boinking each other, which is just
foster parents, and they're foster children. Yes.
Look, I can understand the foster children thing as a cover. The problem with that is, I'm like, why can't you just tell the rest of the world that none of y'all are dating? Because so far we have 2 couples. We have, what's his name?
We have that one couple, and we have the other couple. We know what
I gotta say who they are. Emmett and Rosalie, and then you have Alice and Jasper. Those are two couples. You didn't need to tell the rest of the world that you guys are couples, because if anything, that just makes everyone think you guys are extra sus. Because if a foster family is they're apparently in this universe or in this reality, they're also meant to be all 17. If people found out that a foster family had like the parents knew that 4 of their 5 kids were just having a relationship and they're 17, it's not even like these guys grew up, they're of a consenting age and they moved away and then they got into a relationship. No, it's happening right there.
This is weird.
The cover that the Cullen family have makes no fucking sense, because it just, if anything, it makes it extra sus. And also, here's my problem. Here's the problem. Here's a weird thing. I know this is the problem with casting, because I'm not saying the casting is wrong. The casting is fucking perfect. Robert Pattinson looking the way he does, I forget how old he was, but you can fucking believe he wasn't 17. This is like some Tobey Maguire 28-year-old playing a 17-year-old shit. But here's the thing.
I looked it up.
Yeah.
He's born in... I already forgot. I think he's born in 86, which would make him 22 at the time, potentially.
That's doable. That's that. 22 can pass. But still.
Yeah.
But still, he also had, let me say this very clearly, the stubble of a full-grown man. He had the same amount of stubble that Bella's dad had. If Bella's dad had any sense, his 17-year-old daughter brought back a homie with the same stubble.
He said he looked old. He said he was old. He's like, isn't that old too?
It just looks sus. Also, the 17-year-old cover doesn't work. It doesn't work. At some point, we've seen where technology has gone in the later years. Eventually, how many public records are gonna say Edward Cullen graduated at this school when? 1902?
That's the only thing I'm not so certain about, and I wonder, like, wouldn't they change their names when they go to a different place? Surely.
Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I'm basing also the movie doesn't tell me shit. I'm just making accusations of with no foundation here. That's the best part of this podcast. So
I object.
God damn it. But that's the thing. It seems like there's better ways to maintain this cover. Like, at least Carlisle has a job. He ain't gotta explain why he doesn't age. He's a fully grown fucking man. Some people just age like wine. That's pretty much it. Keanu Reeves didn't get a wrinkle till he was like 50 or some shit. So basically, he's fine. His kids, not so much. But also, they can... Okay, look. You ain't gotta stay 17. You get 18. You graduate. You've still got a good 5 years in the one place before everyone begins to start questioning why you still look the same way you do. Because look, I look the same way I did when I was 18. I'm 24. No one's questioning.
You could probably extend it to 10 years. You could just say, I'm just not aging. Whatever.
Yeah, cool.
Good genes.
Don't say that. They all look Aryan as shit. Don't say good genes. Tip everyone off to some bitch. But yeah. And also, here's the problem as well. The only person among them who seems like he's mastered the art of blending in is Carlisle, because every conversation anyone has, or not conversation, every interaction anyone has with any member of the Cullen family who is not Carlisle always goes this way: damn, you're kind of weird. And then that member of the family reciprocating how weird they are. But just like, what does Jasper do? Jasper stares at you like he wants to eat you. All right, cool. Okay, look, except maybe I can see Emmett getting away with it because he just seems like a big, jovial jock dude. He just seems happy. Fair enough, he seems fine. But then there's Edward, who's just weird. Like, not even like, hey, that kid's weird. That is like sociopath. If anyone's gonna shoot this school up, I think it's Edward. Weird. Because they don't blend in with the people they're around. They keep to themselves, which is odd. They always stay as a family, which is odd. They make obvious to everyone else they're all in a relationship, which is odd. And then Bella also said, like, oh, sometimes you use old-timey words, which I don't remember ever happening, but apparently...
That never happened.
That never happened. But apparently in Bella's...
Maybe one time, I think during the fight at the end with James...
Yeah.
I think Edward says something a bit proper.
He has good grammar, Bella. Fucking get over it.
No. It was like... it was something about it that was just like, this is not typical.
People don't speak this way, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, look, I think all I am saying is, if vampires apparently are immortal, and he's been a vampire for like, what did he say, 100-ish years? That's a lot of time.
1918.
Almost 100 years. Fuck it. That's a lot of time for you to become very good at blending in with people. Like, look, I know you can't fix the whole sparkly problem. You can't fix the fact that like their skin is crazy pale and their eyes are kind of weird. You can't fix that, but you can fix how you interact with people around you. And for some reason, they decided not to do that. They just thought, fuck it, we're gonna be weird to the end of time. Like, the only good move I think they made was moving to a town that apparently has no sun ever.
They made the right choice there.
That's one good choice, because you got to worry about. So I guess the problem is being directly hit by the sun, not the fact that the sun shines through clouds. Also, do Fork's clouds not have gaps in them? Remember those days?
I mean, you would think the fork was a metaphor for the clouds. I don't know.
No. Just no.
For the listeners, I did a fork sign with my fingers and then started poking through it as if the light beams were poking through the forks down onto the citizens. I will never do that again.
Never do that again. Oh god. But yeah, like, their cover makes zero sense. The problem with their cover is, despite all the effort they apparently went through to establish it, everyone is still suspicious of them. No one's not. You fucked up. Move to a different town. Start again. Yeah,
they messed up. But honestly, I think their biggest error was loud whispering. They're very loud whisperers. I'm sorry. In the hospital, Bella's suspicious and like, what are you doing? She can hear you.
Yeah.
You guys are supposed to be intelligent, smart, all that jazz.
No, none of that shit.
None of it.
None of it. Basically, they talk about him being a vampire in public. Anyone can just walk by and go, wait, what? You're a vampire?
Wait, what? You put a dent in the car? I still, like, no one investigated that car crash at all.
Because when you think about...
There was a dent, like...
A hand-shaped...
What? Even if it wasn't, like, hand-shaped, like... There's no impact on that. Like, it didn't hit there. Do you know what I mean?
Damn. Like, what did you guys think happened? Do you think Bella's head made that dent and she just came out? If anything, they should be more suspicious of Bella for getting out of a fatal car crash, denting the car next to her, and her not even... Damn, girl.
Yeah.
Apparently you're a superhero now.
Strong forehead.
They need the magic feds from Bright to come and investigate this shit.
Oh god, do not evoke that movie anymore.
I'll evoke it as much as I want.
Stop. Alright, can we talk about something?
Yes.
AKA the smoldering, intense looks and the lip biting and like, what the hell?
It's intense, so and I love it.
Intense and like, what the hell?
You know what it is?
Comedy gold. I just can't believe it. Like, it's just, how could that not be camp? Tell me.
Do you know what confuses me, or what's the best part about this? You know for a fact that they inserted all of those zooms and smoldering looks and shots for the audience. But think of it in world. Imagine all you ever see.
Imagine just looking at someone and being like.
No, imagine you doing that and it works.
And it works, and you just like you literally just stare, and just gaze at them,
dude,
for a good minute.
That is
back and forth.
That is high school me, who's like, hey man, you gonna talk to that girl and actually be her friend? Fuck no, I'm gonna stare. and stare. Maybe one day she'll catch me staring and actually start a conversation with me. It's on her.
Yeah.
I'm extending the olive branch, and the olive branch is me looking at you.
Shout out to the biology class fan. I just have to give it up to that fan. That fan was doing work for Bella's hair, blowing in the wind like she's in some sort of music video or some sort of Twilight movie.
Hey. Oh, and like apparently the fan's placement there actually, the reason that Edward was so, weirded out was because the fan was just wafting her scent straight at him. Like, imagine if you met a girl and she smelled like straight, like crispy bacon, like the good shit. There's a fan behind her, and it just hits you in the face. Except, you're vegetarian. You can't eat bacon, so she sits next to you, reeking of bacon, and you're just like, God damn. And the funniest part is the fact that he thinks she stinks. She thinks.
Yeah. He covers his nose. It's like, what have I done?
Apparently, in her reality, she stunk so much she made a homie miss school.
Is it my musk that kept him away for a week?
It's like, damn, I guess I'll take a shower.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
I'm trying to imagine showing someone this movie, but they don't know that the vampires are even a plot line. They just see this shit happen and go, oh, I guess she just really stank the place up.
Yeah. Also, can we talk about the vegetarian shade?
What is the vegetarian shade?
From Edward, he's just like, we're like vampires. We're like vegetarians, but we're vampires. We don't get to have any fun or anything like that, or without the taste. And it's just like, well, what about actual vegetarians who just don't? Like, what are you saying? I don't know. I have to bring up that line again.
Maybe Stephanie Meyer just does not like vegetarians. Like, oh, look at y'all. Which y'all can't have a burger eating ass. Shut the fuck up. Go eat some spinach. Also, that's a sad existence. I'm not gonna lie. You can't have the one thing. Like, look, I know the alternative is the animal blood, but still, like, they couldn't even I don't know. There's got to be a different way. Like, Carlisle works in a fucking hospital. Steal a bag of blood.
I assume that's why he works in the hospital.
No, apparently I think he's just always a doctor.
I think it's a secret. Nah, I think he's been
siphoning off human blood, not telling anyone else.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening, and that's why he's so chill.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Like, why would you? All the professionals. Why would you be? Look, you've had 100 years to go to college, get a degree in something a bit less sus, and your first thought is, I'm going to work where they keep all of the sustenance I need, but apparently I can't have any. It's like me working at a bacon factory, back with the bacon, but I'm vegetarian. I can't have any bacon. I think I'm just I just want to eat bacon right now.
Yeah, clearly you are hungry.
6 o'clock, but it's reaching that time.
Can we also talk about the scene where Bella puts it all together that he's a vampire, and he just zooms in.
Ace Detective Bella.
Undead. Speed when he goes and runs to the truck with a flashback. Strength when he punches the truck. Cold skinned when his skin was cold, and and then immortal again in case you missed undead.
Oh man, it's do you know what's weird about it?
Oh my God.
Anyone in real life wouldn't have actually came to the vampire conclusion until so much later. But her first thought is, he must be superhuman. I didn't hallucinate. That man stopped the truck. He's very fast. He is undead and immortal. Something I noticed about him when I met him.
And he said he's bad. That's a good sign. That he's bad.
The typical. I wonder how many people use I shouldn't be with you. I'm bad as a tactic back in the day. It's like, hey man, if Edward can do it, it should be fine. No. Do you know? Okay, look, if I was a girl and a guy, and I liked a guy who's like, I can't be around you, I'm bad. You know, the first thing I'd do is leave. I'm like, cool. Thank you for
told me. Thank you. Made this a real easy transition. Really appreciate it.
The red flag showed itself. I'm gonna show myself.
Thank you for your honesty. And to be honest, you weren't really that bad, but okay, sure.
God, like, look, the problem with this movie is also okay. Here's the thing I didn't write down, but I'm gonna say, Edward Cullen. There's this one scene where he's actually kind of, nice and like charismatic and like jokey, and it's actually kind of nice. It's like when he invites Bella to his house. Like, they don't go there. It's like the scene where he actually invites her to come, and he's like, he just jumped off the car and he's like bouncing around. He's like actually smiling, and he's like, normal people things. He's never like that ever again. He's only like a nice dude for that one scene, and then the rest he's like brooding. I was gonna say brooding like Batman, which I guess makes way a lot of sense now, but
yeah,
go do. But it's so weird. Like, it's kind of like when a character is one thing in one movie and then something completely the opposite of that in another, but it happened in the same movie. It's like, when you watch Wreck-It Ralph 1 and you're like, wow, Ralph seems like, he just wants to be loved, this nice guy. And then Wreck-It Ralph 2, suddenly he's the most abusive friend known to man. You're like, whoa, wait. When did this happen? This ain't the same character. Like, if Edward was like cold and like dark and brooding all of the time, I'd understand. But like this one part, he's like happy, and then no other part, he's happy, even though apparently he's in love with Bella, who should be logically making him happy. As happy as a metaphorical bag of bacon can be to you. But hey, what are you gonna do?
Yes. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's like the safe. Like, that's the part where they peaked in terms of happiness, and then immediately after that, the drama happens, and then eventually they, go to the prom. So I don't know. I guess it makes a little sense.
It's also kind of nice how welcoming the Cullen family is, which, why I don't think they're sus in this universe? Because in this universe, vampires are fucking bitches. Any other movie, a family of vampires invites you over for dinner, I think you know what's up. I think you know what's going to happen. But in this one, they make her... I love how they deduced from the fact her name is Isabella, we got to make her Italian.
That was funny. That was good. I did appreciate that.
It's like me going, hey, Daniel's coming over for lunch. I saw Daniel in the Bible once. We should make some Hebrew food.
Thank you. I would really appreciate that. That does sound pleasant.
It's so weird. And then she gets there and she's like, oh, do you know what's weird? The fact they, like, it's just all these weird things I'm gonna nitpick for the sake of it. If you don't eat, look, in the same way that Edward doesn't have a bed in his room because he doesn't sleep. If you don't eat, why have a kitchen?
It comes with the house.
No,
I don't know. No. What I'm saying is Edward should have a bed. He's stupid for not having a bed. That's cover right there. Like, I don't understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even for the illusion
to fake that he was sleeping in the hospital. Why?
Do you know what would have been the funniest thing? If after 100 years of not sleeping, he forgot how to look like he was asleep. And Bella's mom comes in, he's just staring straight at her.
He's just standing up, eyes closed.
Oh, that'd have been amazing. Oh, damn. And also, apparently, you wrote down, apparently the fact that Edward has a big window makes him a psycho.
I'm sorry. No. They all have huge windows. Like, it's like those... that's a villain shit. No. Like, again, if that's you want to be a secretive, on the low vampire family, why would you have that many windows? Also, the sunlight problem. I remember the sunlight problem.
No curtains.
What's going on there?
It's not even like it's got. They don't even have that kind of like the glass that like blocks sunlight or some shit. It's not even tinted. It's just glass.
Yeah.
Like if some random was walking through your neighborhood, which I know the house is like out in the forest, but if some random was out in the forest and they saw this house and they just see you nomming on like a rabbit corpse in the fucking window, you're like, oh, okay. That's weird.
No, big windows is big, like evil energy. Like, I'm so rich,
big
I
evil
don't
energy.
care.
It's kind of like the thing where it's like the bigger the hoop, the bigger the hoe, the bigger the window, the bigger the evil.
I'm telling you.
You know for a fact that every evil person has a big window for the express reason of just pushing someone outside of it. That's why it's there. It's there.
I mean, he basically did that. It was just they jumped out and...
you mean the immortal words, hang on tight, spider monkey.
Yes, the immortal words. Like, they're evoking Aladdin in that scene as well. Do you trust me?
Also, let's talk about the CG. Let's talk about... This is 2008.
I didn't notice. What are you talking about, Clyde? What's CG?
Let me see. Jurassic Park came out in the 90s. Scott Pilgrim happened the year after. Let's see. The Lord of the Rings happened in 2002? And you couldn't CG a fast-running person who didn't look like he was literally floating on air?
Let's talk about budget, Clyde.
I know the budget. I actually researched. It's like 40 mil.
It's not huge for its time, right?
Here's the thing. I've seen enough behind the scenes of movies with better CG with less budget where they go, hey, obviously we can't CG this. Let's try and do a cool camera trick to kind of, at least maintain the illusion. In Supernatural, whenever the angels like teleport, they don't show them teleporting. They literally cut shots and then cut again to them being gone very fast. And you go, oh, they're gone. So you couldn't just make them run fast. You couldn't just speed up the video.
No, because you need that little wavy like echo as well, like that echo trail of them moving. I think just running fast and that kind of CG just is naturally a goofy thing. Like, and if you're not Marvel, you're not going to get it right. Even in like superhero movies, I don't think running fast or I don't think it looks good typically. Like, I'm trying to think, wasn't it Quicksilver was in Avengers?
That looked decent.
And I didn't think he looked that good.
He looked alright.
It looked fine, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't know if running fast is like a cool thing. Like, it's a cool thing in theory and in cartoons, but like as like a live action thing, it always looks a bit goofy to me. Like,
that's true, but I feel like you could make it look better. You can make it.
They don't need to.
But
Clyde, this movie's not about that. This movie's not about that. Like,
goddamn,
it's about
it kills
how
me. It just kills
this
me.
is forbidden, and he wants to eat her, and that's what it's really about.
Do you know
what he restrains himself?
This whole movie is just that one scene in Madagascar where Alex wants to eat Marty because he looks like a fucking steak. That's pretty much it. That's the whole movie.
That's it. That's pretty much it. And I don't know. Does it really end the same way? I'm trying to recall Madagascar.
I forget how Madagascar ends. I do not know.
I think Madagascar has a poor third act.
The first two, amazing. And then it's kind of
amazing. Yeah, it just falls off at the end.
But this is not a review of Madagascar. This is Twilight.
Okay, all right. And then one other thing I have to bring up.
Yeah.
How did they make every single predatory thing like a hot thing? Like, how did it
do you mean
the writers behind this, they took every single aspect. I'm talking about being 100 years old, so age difference. I'm talking about being a stalker. I'm talking about objectification. I'm talking I'm talking about being wildly overprotective.
This movie, if any guy saw it at that time and saw how girls reacted to it and thought, I'm going to do what Edward does
I'm going to beat up some people and I'm going to
look, at least when he beat up...
watch her sleep.
At least when he beat those guys... Okay, at least when he beat those guys up, he had a good reason to.
He had a good reason.
Bad shit was going to happen. But like...
Obviously, but
besides that...
In the movie context...
in the movie context, it's fucking weird. He's just following around the whole time. Also, have you got nothing better to do with your time? I mean, I know you're 100 years old and you're bored as hell, but...
No, he doesn't have anything better to do with his time,
dude,
honestly.
That's 100 years of like...
This is the first mystery girl he's ever met. The one
man.
with
also,
nothing in her head.
His car, for some reason, I don't think he'd drive that car. It's a little hatchback.
It feels like it would be his parents' car. I don't know.
It seems like it'd be his parents' car.
Yeah,
considering also how he'd look. Apparently, in the book or something, I forget if Denise told me this. You know how he drove so recklessly? Apparently, the fact that they've been alive for basically as long as cars have been a thing means they're so good at driving they can just basically fast and furious their way through traffic with no problem because it's like second nature to him. That's why he drives so aggressively and like, you know, he just does like sick baby driver drifts and shit. But if you look at this movie as just a movie, you didn't know that all vampires apparently drive very well, which means Vin Diesel's a vampire, confirmed. I mean, he probably is, honestly. But
I could see that.
It just looked like he just... Also, because, okay, if all vampires drive very well, that leads me to assume you know a decent amount about cars. Why would you drive that?
Low profile.
What low profile? You are the sparkliest human ever known to man. Like, even as far as pale white people go, the Cullens are pale. That's weird. They go to Ireland, and the Irish should be like, Jesus fucking Christ, what the hell? What is this shit?
Yeah.
Like, that car could not withstand that level of, like, aggression. The wheel would just pop off, and Bella would die anyway. Then the movie would end. But yeah, it also, I think I can draw a comparison here with, have you ever seen the show You?
Yeah, it's just the first season.
Yes. Okay, cool. So you know what I'm talking about. You understand that in the show You, Joe does all these creepy things, but the show doesn't tell you that he's doing good. The show goes from his perspective, he's doing good. Literally anyone else who finds out about the shit he does goes, what the fuck, I'm calling the cops. You're fucking crazy. Twilight doesn't do that. In Twilight, he shows up in her house, unannounced. She's like, oh, that's amazing. I love this. This is great. He stalks her. She's like, yeah, that's amazing. This is amazing. This is great. Like, she knows that he could, at some point, if he just basically sneezes wrong and loses control of himself, he could just bite her throat out. She's like, that's fine. This is great.
You didn't choose to kill me? This is amazing. This is great.
Really? So you're gonna tell? Okay, look. Like, what if, like, you're just? Also, what if you get into a fight, which you will do, because all couples get into fights? Then he gets very, very mad. Do you want the one worry in your mind to be, I guess today I'm gonna be in fucking chop suey? Really? That's the one worry you want to have in your head?
She's 17. She just doesn't know. It's just young love.
Nah, she seems dumb. She just seems like an exceptionally dumb person. Man, it's so just... God, everything he does should be a red flag, but it isn't. And it's not even like she realizes that. She doesn't even like, look, fuck, even in 50 Shades of Grey, at some point Anastasia was like, you're fucking weird, my guy. Like, I know I signed up for this, but this is too far. I'm out. She never hits that point. Even when she's literally about to get murdered, when she has to literally leave her house and her dad, and then worry about her mom getting kidnapped, at no point during that, do you know what she does at the end? She wants to become one. Not because she thinks,
He fully embraces it.
She's just like, I want to be one because you're the one. Why? Because I don't want to be like, you know, I don't want this weird Captain America shit where like Peggy Carter's like 80 years old and poor Chris Evans just looks like...
Yeah, I mean, if she was to keep this relationship dynamic the same, where she's a human and he's a vampire. Clearly, she's going to outgrow him, outage him. And then what's going to happen when they move? They got to think about these things long term, and that's what I feel as
the biggest problem.
I can't hold this facade. Sorry.
The biggest problem with Twilight. They're just not thinking forward. That is the problem. Speaking of creepy things, I swear, if I took a shot every time I watched a movie, and look, I understand that the world is a scary place for women. That doesn't mean everything you want to watch has to have an almost sexual assault scene occur. That happens a lot, way more than it should. It's not even that. That was not even happening for plot purposes. This only happened because, look, if Edward needed a reason to beat a bunch of people up, you can find way more reasons to do that than that, because that happens a lot. At a creepy amount. What's the last movie or thing you saw where that just didn't happen or didn't almost happen?
The last movie I saw where it didn't happen.
Was that Short-Term 12?
Actually, the last movie I saw was The Terminal, and to be honest, I can't tell you.
Wait, as in the Tom Hanks, The Terminal?
Yeah, the Tom Hanks Terminal.
I'm gonna say Tom Cruise's The
Terminal. There could have been sexual assault in that movie. I'm just not sure.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but it happens a lot. It's like if
it does happen a lot.
It's like if in every movie you saw someone just kill themselves, you'd be like, this is weird. Why does every movie have to have this just show up basically unannounced every single time? I think my thing is I understand more for plot reasons, such as look, she didn't even know these guys. It's there's no plot reason why it should have happened. I know in real life that's never the reason why it happens, but in movie world, things happen because of rules. There's a setup and there's payoff. The only setup they had was they came across her, and that's it. And also,
they saw her through the window. Do you remember?
Yes, I remember that, but I'm that's just I don't know.
That's the setup.
Honestly, there could have been a flurry of reasons why Edward could have protected her from danger from a lot of things. The first time it was a car crash, why couldn't it be something else than this? This just makes people uncomfortable. And then afterwards, you're why do I feel uncomfortable? This is weird.
The thing is that they're putting her in a dangerous situation, and he has to come out. The goal is to make him look heroic, and do something positive essentially for her.
She could have got mugged.
She could have got mugged. But what I'm saying is, this is traditionally, I guess stereotypical couple dynamics between in straight cis relationships or whatever. I don't know. That's what I think is just they're just going for
I know why they did it, but I guess that just
typical shit.
It just kind of makes me just go, this happens a lot. Why is it still happening? Of all the weird tropes, I wish this wasn't one of them.
Yeah,
it just makes the audience feel off, and it just doesn't help. Considering your movie is basically camp and stupid as hell, then suddenly I don't want to go from that suddenly to screeching halt. Wait, what the fuck? That's just weird. But going back, off that topic, what was I going to talk about? Something weird that I realized. They put so much emphasis on the fact that you have to break a vampire apart and burn the pieces to kill them, right?
Yeah.
When it finally happened, do you remember seeing it?
No, because this is an M-rated movie.
It's true. They saw they showed you Alice snapping his neck. That's not M. Is that M?
Right, because they still want those preteens.
Goddamn, son.
I'm telling you.
So I love how you can talk about it happening, but you can't actually show it happening. It's like, hey man, I punched this guy through the throat, reached down, pulled his heart out, and then just like, rubbed it all over my face. But the second you try to show that shit actually happening, it's like, oh, nah, it's too far. Kids don't have imagination in their heads, apparently.
Mm-hmm. They do not.
Oh, and then of course the greatest line ever that any girl would probably call the cops after you say, "You're my own personal brand of heroin."
I mean, everyone. You know what I love about this line is who has a personal brand of heroin.
Who are you, Charlie Sheen?
Like you just have your specific one. Like it's not mass produced. It's just for you. Totally tailored just for you.
Like, look, I understand the whole being in love's like being on heroin kind of thing, but I think it's weird that he said that. And also, I have reason to believe that Edward Cullen has definitely had heroin before. He's been 100 years old. At some point, come on, he's done everything to the point that whenever Bella goes, "Hey, this looks like fun," did it. Do you mean flying a fighter jet? I did it. I'm 100 years old, Bella. The fuck do you think I've been doing?
So, when I think about the 100-year-old thing, it's so weird. Yeah,
it's weird. It's kind of the same energy. It's the same energy as when people. It's like not people. When in anime, this happens a lot in anime as well. I'm looking at you, anime. Big, you fuck up.
It looks like you're looking at me, Clyde. I am not anime.
God damn it! That's why I started this podcast. But it's like an anime where it's happened many times where they go, "Hey, this character's like 1,000 years old." So but then their form isn't obviously that of a 1,000-year-old person because that wouldn't be feasible. But if every form they choose, it's always a kid. Or it's always like a teenager, and then the protagonist falls in love with them, and it's like not weird. It's like, but why isn't it weird? If age, people are like, age is just a number. It is a very important number, because the second you hit a certain threshold, shit becomes weird because your brain's fully developed and you've been through a lot of shit. It's not even like Bella was 18 or 19. And then he's like 1,000 years old. And it's like, cool. At least at that point, she can kind of, pick and choose who she wants to date. And if things go shit, she can kind of take care of herself and stuff. But when someone's a literal child, this person has to ask a teacher to go to the toilet. Are you sure you want to take them? They don't have urgency of their bowels. Why the hell would you want them in your life?
That's still like the whole like toilet situation at school. Sorry, this is a side note. It's
dumb.
Weird.
Just leave.
Like it's really
dumb. You gotta pee, go pee.
It's a weird power dynamic.
It's weird okay, look, I understand. It's not weird. You have to ask because they legally have to know where you are. Because if shit happens, then
that's fine.
Would you go cool?
But just like
fucked
saying
up that like, they can say no. It's fucked up. You can go.
Why?
No.
Like. I get like some kids would not go to the toilet and say they're going to the toilet, but still, like just the fact that like I'm like for all the kids that actually have needed to go to the toilet and just haven't gone because of I don't know. Really
remember the dumbest one? Miss, can I go to the toilet? It was just recess. What's your point? Have you ever drank 2 bottles of water? I'm gonna have to go 5 minutes from now anyway.
Recess can be real quick sometimes, and then like it just hits you after it.
So, and also, do you want me to waste 5 minutes of my half an hour or 20-minute recess going to the bathroom? Fuck that shit. I have lunch to eat. I got down ball to play. What are you talking about? It's way more important things than your toilet, miss.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's our rant about toilet culture in schools. It should be the same as uni. In uni, you just get up and go. Like, look, it's polite to say, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. That's as best as being polite. But
in the auditorium,
also
step up to the mic. Guys.
Gotta go to the bathroom, sorry.
Gotta excuse myself.
Yeah, just get up and go. Then come back.
Yeah.
Boom, done. Makes
honestly,
things less weird.
I still announce it.
Yells into the whole yells out to the whole building, I'm going to the bathroom.
No, just when I'm like, I don't know, I'm at work, I don't want to just leave abruptly.
They're like, oh, something wrong? Are you okay? It's like, no, I just got to shit myself. I'm sorry. You want to know? This movie had weirdly good music. Like,
it had music, yes.
Have you got a hot take?
No, I don't have a hot take. There's nothing hot about this take. This is a very mild take. It's just not. It's not my vibe, but I dig it in the movie, in the context of the movie. I guess it felt very of its time.
Oh,
and
100%.
I thought like that baseball scene was just that was just a beautiful way
that scene makes me smile.
That even better.
The fact that, look, some things sometimes, let's say in a book, when you're adapting it, you go, hey, this bit seems a bit weird. I love it. They looked at that and thought, this is it. We are going to showcase the best CG, the best music we have, because they're playing baseball. I love how, like, the only time they can play baseball is when there's thunder, because apparently, wait, in the movie, does it say that they do that because them hitting the ball with a bat sounds like thunder?
It's implied, yeah.
Yeah,
pretty much.
It's just funny to think. It also means that no Cullen ever plays sport, because if they do, bad shit's gonna happen. Which sucks when you're Emmett, because look at Emmett. He is built like a linebacker. They're just like, hey man, do you want to come and play football? No, I can't. It's like, what do you mean you can't? It looks like you're playing it right now. What do you mean? It's like, no, because I mean, kill everyone on the field. Unless you can like control the strength that much. You hope you could.
You never know. I mean, honestly, like if he really wants, he could just convert other people to be vampires and then make a team.
Convert the whole team just to make a vampire league?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, he
but
could.
I think they're selective with it because they want food. Oh wait, not them actually. They're vegetarian. Oh no, just because they have good hearts. I take it back.
Do they though? I mean, I guess so. They do nothing the whole movie, so you have no real evidence saying they did anything wrong. 4
more films to find out.
So apparently you say Forks is something to do with Twin Peaks. I don't know what this means. So you'll have to.
Oh no, I'm just a big fan of a place called Forks because it's called Forks. Like, what a good name. I just love like the Washington or like just like Northwestern and North American like just the foresty vibe, the small town vibe. That's my thing. Like that's what Twin Peaks is as a show, is basically that with weird shit. So that's where Twilight couldn't have happened without Twin Peaks, obviously.
I've only seen like one scene of Twin Peaks. It's like, I'm not sure if this is from the new or old, but it's when a guy's head turns to a marble or some shit.
I didn't get that far. I need to revisit it. But yeah,
I guess someone's head turns into a marble. Just
so you know, I don't know. That's a vibe. It's a cool vibe.
It's a cool vibe. I'd live in Forks if they had sun. That's my one problem. They don't have sun. And I can't be bothered with that cold, wet, damn shit. Even your beach looks depressing. I'm not going to Forks. Fuck that.
Yeah, very, very depressing beach.
No wonder Bella's mom left. Forks looks like shit.
Yeah.
Sounds
pretty
Forks.
much.
Anything you want to add, or are we good? Have we bled this dry?
We have bled this dry, and right now it looks like the sun's about to come out, and I don't want to start shimmering. So
no, you gotta find that one specific part of the forest that Edward apparently knows by heart that has a patch of sunlight. Just
always eternal sunlight, and then just unzip, just be like, what was that, dude?
He didn't need to. Just show me your face.
It could have just been in his face.
Even his hand. He didn't need to, but I guess you gotta get him excited. Shirts off, son.
Yes. What a movie.
Great movie, and we're gonna be doing the sequel next week. It's gonna be.
What's the sequel called? Is it New Moon?
I think you're right. It's the Twilight Saga. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's New Moon.
It's New Moon.
Yeah.
Cool. We're going to be watching the Twilight Saga New Moon when things pick up and the stakes get higher. Can we get much higher?
The triangle
so
shall
high.
form.
Indeed.
Let's see. But yeah, I'm keen, I guess. I don't know. Am I keen? I don't know anymore.
You will be keen. You'll have to make yourself keen.
I'm going to make myself keen.
So yeah, thank you for our coming into our discussion of Twilight, the first of Twilightober, which would become Twilightvember or some shit. I guess. Twivember?
October?
Twember? We're just saying random shit now.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, big great news. We have a TikTok account because we are down with the kitties. There's one video on it so far, but I'm hoping to add some more, and I'm also working on a YouTube video which I'm gonna put on the channel, and we're gonna try and expand beyond the podcast realm into the land of content.
The bounce of Empire is ever growing.
It's growing.
It's unstoppable. You can't stop it. I dare you to stop it.
The sun will never set on the bounce off Empire.
Watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out. I'm telling you, all these other content creators, I'm coming for you. I'm going to be on your channel.
Are we going to name
comment
it?
Section, and I'm going to say mean things.
I'm going to siphon your supporters, son.
Because I'm sure you're not already getting that. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do.
Come for them toes. Yeah, we're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, we have a Reddit account I've not even touched since I made it. I don't even know why I made it, not gonna lie. We are on Instagram, we are on Twitter, and what am I gonna say? Well, the TikTok account is just the bounce off, which is nice, small, simple to find. The Instagram is the bounce off, is it?
Yeah,
I gotta get used to this. Cool. Instagram is the bounce off. What's the other one? I forget what you plug half the time because
Don't worry, Clyde. It's fine.
They're never gonna find him anyway.
It's fine. People we'll just put the stuff in the description. Whatever.
If they want to find it, they'll find it.
You know what? It's like a challenge. It's like a little Easter egg hunt.
If you're smart enough to follow us.
Yeah, let's see if you can actually do it. I challenge you to follow us.
You sound like you're gonna fight them when they do.
These are all empty threats, Clive. The past 5 minutes have just been empty threats.
Goddamn.
Oh my god.
That is it for this week. Catch you next week for Twilight Saga New Moon. Signing off. Now,
guys,
bye.
Sparkle. Yeah.
Keep sparkling. Stay sparkly.
Stay shimmering.
All right, we're stopping this now.